Brothers and sisters from St. Patrick's in Moreno Valley, it is with great joy that I come to you today, because as many of you may have already heard, that in the Diocese of San Bernardino, we are going to be opening up for public masses starting the 13th, 14th of June, which is the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. How appropriate, huh? The love of God, the love of the heart of Jesus is with us and for us. But I have to tell you, it's not going to be as easy as it sounds. You know, in the beginning of this pandemic, we were hearing every 24 hours, everything was different. We went from a recommendation for staying at home to an order to stay at home. We started to have to wear masks in public. We had to be, people were losing their jobs. Businesses were being shut down. And even the churches, as we know, and our churches' offices were being shut down as well. And this was a big shock for us. And then we had to learn how to become accustomed to living at home, cooking a lot more than we were accustomed to, spending more time together, which for some people that was a great challenge, and for some people that turned out to be very fruitful and great. And now that the things are starting to open up, it seems like every 24 hours things are different and things are changing, and it's not as obvious as it should be or we would like it to be. So the thing is we need to know that as we find ourselves beginning to open up our parish offices and going back to celebration of the sacraments, there are many protocols that have to be met before we open up. And in fact, it's even the condition of opening up on time. So please, I ask for your continued patience. I ask for your continued prayers. This is so important that we figure out what's the best way to open up. We're going to have to keep distance, social distance, even at Mass. We're going to have to find ways to do different things, like how do we do the collection? How do we do communion? No sign of peace. We can't even have choirs. So what do we do about music, if at all? All these different things are part of what has to happen and be figured out. And fortunately, because I work at the diocese and have been going to diocesan meetings via Zoom, I'm kind of a little bit ahead of the game. And so I've had our staff, our wonderful staff, and you really, when you have a chance, tell them that they too are heroes, because our staff has been working so hard during this time. And that being said, we have been trying to figure out how are we going to open up St. Patrick when the time comes. So we're a little bit ahead of the game, maybe just a couple of weeks, but still that's a lot to be said. And so we're trying to figure out how we're going to open up. How do we keep the limit? How do we address the limitations that the state is going to give to us? So one of those limitations is that because of our size, we're going to be limited to 100 persons per Mass. We sit 650 people. And to get only 100 in there is going to be really, really tough. And so we're going to try to figure out how to do that. We already got some recommendations from the CDC. We got recommendations from the state. We got recommendations from different church groups, from the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops and the California Catholic Conference. So we've already been getting a lot of recommendations and ideas on what is going to be done, how it's going to be done. So the thing is, I ask for your patience. We will try to get you those guidelines in advance. So please keep looking at our social media to provide you that information. But I am very happy. I am thrilled, to be honest with you, that that we're going to be opening up soon. But it means a lot more work. And in fact, it probably means more intense work in these next few weeks before we open up. So I pray that you, for your patience, I pray that those of you who are able, we're going to probably need volunteers, but I don't even know what that means yet. How do we have volunteers to sanitize the place? How do we have, transition from one service to another, from one Mass to another? How do we determine people coming in for the Masses? How are we going to do the other sacraments? And we still have to figure out First Communion, Confirmation, Confession. All those things we still have to figure out and get protocols and give you the guidelines. And these guidelines that must be written up. And after they're written up, then we need to get a sign off from the diocese before we can even enact them. So pray that we're able to work in the next few weeks diligently, rapidly to get these done so that when we do have the open date, we are ready to go and are signed off by then. So again, please keep praying. Please keep safe. Please be responsible for keeping social distance, for continuing to wear the mask, take care of one another, and be responsible for others. As the governor has reminded us, when we wear the mask, when we take all these precautions, we are showing respect to other people. Let's do that. Let's not stop doing that until, or even when we begin having public Masses and have access to the sacraments again. Just to let you also know that when we do open up and have the public Masses, for those of you who are still concerned about your health, those of you who are over 65 or have underlying health issues, you will still be dispensed from the obligation of Mass, and we will continue to live stream the Mass so that you can still have access to the liturgy, even for those of you who feel at this point you cannot come. And that also includes those of you who are caregivers, and are those who are taking care of somebody at home that might have underlying issues or are elderly, that you too may decide to stay at home, and that's deeply appreciated. And of course, we'll be able to provide you the live stream Masses, even if you have to choose not to come to the Mass. So I just wanted to let you know, I am thrilled. I hope you're excited that we'll have access soon to the public Masses, the sacraments, and opening up. But we also ask for your prayers as we prepare to how we're going to open up. That's still the work that has to be done between now and the time that the bishop says we can have Mass. So we'll be working on that, and we'll be doing, trying to do the best to serve you. We are here for you. And I appreciate that you have been the heroes that have been patient, heroes that continue to support the parish, heroes that have made our parish a winning parish because of your continual involvement, either by watching live stream, responding, continue to support us financially, praying for us priest. I know some of you have been taking food to the priest. That is so awesome. That is awesome. And believe it, our hearts are warmed by all that love and support, prayers and donations that you have been making, because it tells us that us priests are not in this by ourselves. It's not just the staff that make St. Patrick's great. It is all of you. All of us together make St. Patrick's great. And so as we prepare these next couple of weeks to open up again, let us be great with our patients so that we can be great on the day that we open up to public Masses. May God's blessing be upon you, keep you safe and healthy until the time we can meet at Mass in the sacraments. God bless you all. Bye now.